Trailers ahoy, though. Dune Part 2 has a second trailer. What am I doing?
I don't know, but I liked it.
Thanks. This one has Elvis in it.
That's right, yeah.
That guy. Now he's a big, bald, white Elvis boy.
Yeah, I mean, if you were questioning Austin...
It's like fighting a sperm.
Yeah.
Sperm
Just
with a
one
knife.
big one.
Yeah.
Flapping about. If you were questioning Austin Butler's commitment to changing his look, if you're like, well, this guy's, he's made it as a big sex symbol, he's Elvis and he's all this sort of stuff, he's not going to turn into a weird pale sperm freak. Well, he is. He did it.
What do you think of that?
Too bad.
Yeah, man. But it'd be funny if he was still doing the Elvis voice. He's just locked into it.
Yeah.
You cannot escape it. Have you watched that yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, great.
Maybe one day. So, yeah, I mean, the trailer looks great.
The spice must flow.
I was going to say some things about his life which I don't like, but I don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to. People will fill in those blanks if they want.
But yeah, the trailer looks incredible. So it's been a couple.
I'm gonna get you, Paul Atreides. I'm gonna get you. He's got his knife.
I'm all shook up.
That's right.
And I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
So the last one did okay. It also released to streaming at the same time, but it's still
that's right.
It got a pretty good following. Cast is great. I mean, I thought it was terrific.
Yeah.
And
the cast is great and continues to get even greater.
Exactly.
With the arrival of Christopher Walken as the Emperor.
That's right. Hello, he says. Hello.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. I'm here. Hello. That's why Christopher Walken.
Did you see, I saw this clip, it's been around for a while, but it was on Twitter recently. It was Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. He was on, they were on SNL as the musical guest, and Christopher Walken was the host. And Christopher Walken comes up to him and asks him, because he's got to introduce the musical act, he's like, where do you put the emphasis on the band's name? And so Dave Grohl was like, oh, you do it on Fighters. And so if you watch the clip, Christopher Walken comes out and he goes, ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters. It's so good.
Why would it? There doesn't even need to be any emphasis.
There doesn't at all. You're absolutely right. They're just two separate words.
That's great. I mean, the scale of these movies look ridiculous. And hopefully we'll be able to actually see this one in cinemas because we couldn't for the last one. But also the news was this week that Dune 3 is happening.
That's right.
It's going to be an adaptation of Dune Messiah.
Oh.
Now, some of this was adapted into the Children of Dune 2003 miniseries.
Oh, Children of Dune.
Children of Dune. That had James McAvoy. And,
James McAvoy.
Now, that's, I assume, I don't know anything about Dune Messiah.
Uh-huh. I think might be the one where Paul Atreides turns into a big worm.
Does that happen?
Yeah, I think so. And he'd be like, Zendaya, would you still love me if I'm a worm? Because I'm going to be a big worm.
Oh, really?
Maybe. Or his son becomes a worm. I'm not sure.
Yuck.
Yeah, well.
I would say yuck. No, thank you.
But he's still got the hair?
How much of it? Because he's got
just
the same...
one wet strand.
No. The worm has to have the whole hair. The hair has to grow to the same size.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Because these books get wild. So 3 is where it gets wild, do you think?
I guess. I don't know. I only read the first Dune.
Okay, great. Because obviously the first movie is the book split up into 2, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah. But also Warner Brothers, they really need a win this year. I mean, most of the companies, Disney need a win. Yeah. A bunch of them need a win.
They need a win or they need a big enough loss for them to realize that the idea, the strategy going forward is perhaps not make every movie $300 million.
Interesting.
You know?
Yeah.
Because then every movie doesn't tie the success of your movie with your business continuing to exist. Like it isn't that threat there anymore.
Right.
If you just made some cheap movies.
Sure. Yeah.
Speaking of, you didn't watch No Hard Feelings yet?
Which one's that?
That's the Jennifer Lawrence.
No, did you
the
see
sex
it?
comedy. I haven't seen it yet. But
she's doing the rounds though.
Doing the rounds.
Doing a hot ones.
Doing a hot ones. Yeah.
Oh, did you have any follow-up questions about that movie?
No, I was just curious. But I mean, that's just a lower budget, movie, such we don't see so much no more.
I think it's doing okay for what it is, but comedies do not do well at the moment because they mostly it's that same thing of like the Pixar animated thing where people were just like, well, I'll watch this on streaming. Yeah. Why go to the cinemas?
That's true.
And all of that. Speaking of cinemas and why you would go to them, Tom Cruise, he's out and about and he's promoting movies in general.
That's right.
You seen those pictures?
We did. Yeah, of course. I mean, we had Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie buying a bunch of tickets to the upcoming big blockbusters to Oppenheimer and.
But they only did it because Tom Cruise did it.
Oh, you think?
I think you'll find Tom Cruise did it first.
Tom Cruise did it first. Well, that's par for the course with Tom Cruise, isn't it?
It's on his Twitter, if you can access it. This summer is full of amazing movies to see in theaters. Congratulations, Harrison Ford, on 40 Years of India and one of the most iconic characters in history. I love a double feature, and it doesn't get more explosive or more pink than one with Oppenheimer and Barbie. I love The Flash also. He didn't say that.
But he said that in the past. So I think it's fair to tie it to this.
I think he should have stood in front of the poster with a ticket.
That's right.
And I know he's already seen it, but he could have supported the movie The Flash.
That's right.
Which is a terrible movie.
Anyway, it set off as you said, he started the trend and it set off a trend, and so we got Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie in front of posters as well, buying their tickets, and that's a bit of fun.
Yep.
Do you think we're going to get Christopher Nolan and Cillian Murphy just looking morose in front of Barbie?
Absolutely not. No.
It's a shame.
I would love that.
Yeah.
If any of them were going to do it, I guess it'd be Cillian Murphy. He seems like a normal guy.
He does seem like a normal guy.
I don't know whether that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like a weird Daniel Day-Lewis guy where he's too normal, where it's like you're too artisanal to be normal.
Yeah, right.
You know, you're all like you make your own nails for your house or whatever he's doing.
yeah.
I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's up the back. He's got some sort of furnace, and he's making batches of nails. He makes 6 nails a day. He's building a house. Yeah.
But yeah, he just seems like you see him in interviews, he's just like,
yeah. I don't know how I got here, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I did a couple of sad Irish movies, and then all of a sudden I'm here. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. There we go. But I also think this thing with Tom Cruise, like promoting other movies, this very transparently to me says that he's also getting his face out there for Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is going to be big. I mean, if off the back of the previous ones and Top Gun, and he is one of the few people in himself, which is like a known brand that
he's
people
one of the last
like
big
at the
movie
moment,
stars,
you
yeah.
know? And not only like a movie star, but a movie star that has delivered lately.
Yeah.
You know? And I know we've got like The Mummy or whatever, but if you look at his track record, it's been very good. So I think this also serves as a way for him to promote himself, which I think is smart, you know, and he's normal. And we both think he's normal.
We both think he's normal, exactly right, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
I feel I saw a tweet this week. It was about, I'll never find it, but it was about how the movie industry, you know, is sort of in flux right now.
Yeah.
And this upcoming slate of movies is sort of really important, because if this stuff does well, then it proves to movie executives that all this stuff everything's going well. Because like Barbie, we've got an existing IP that if that does well, it's like, well, you can just make movies out of toys and stuff. You can keep doing
Mario.
Mario, exactly. If
apparently it's tracking well.
Yeah. If Mission Impossible does well, it's like, well, then you can get a star in it, and a star will do whatever. So look, I'll never find it, but it seemed to make sense to me.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, I found that tweet that was we mentioned earlier. This is from Mark Harris, who I believe is an author, and he said, it's hard to overstate the degree to which Hollywood is now looking at 3 movies, Mission Impossible 7, Barbie, and Oppenheimer, not only to succeed, but to solve industry problems that no 3 films can solve. Mission Impossible 7 is for the movies are back baby crowd. The execs who've been waiting since Top Gun Maverick for the victory lap, and who are holding fast to the belief that franchises and stars, no matter how old or aging, are still a viable path forward.
Okay.
Right? Barbie is for people who believe that mining existing IP is a creative path, as long as the talent is younger and the existing IP hasn't been overly exploited by movies already.
Or underexploited.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Go on.
And Oppenheimer is for the romantics, the people who want to believe that a studio handing a first-tier director a pile of money to take a big adult crazy swing at something remains a chance worth taking. So there you go.
Adult movie.
Not an adult movie.
Well, yeah. That would be number 4, I assume.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think
but
so
I
too.
think like some of the lessons in that might askew. Like that Tom Cruise thing, that give an old guy money and whatever.
Yeah.
That applies strictly to Tom Cruise.
It does. Well, that's exactly. But see, that's the thing. That's what I think is being said here. It's like they're clinging on to the idea of that, you can just bring in a guy who everybody loves, but realistically you can't. It's Tom Cruise and no one else at this point. Who's left?
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, bring Suburban Commando 2. Let's make that happen. Santa with muscles too.
Yeah, he's still got muscles.
That's exactly right.
Santa with slightly less muscles because he's much older.
But there was also, I think, some sort of earnings call this week with Mattel or Hasbro or something like that, where they're like, look at all the stuff we have and we can make a bloody...
A Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yep, that worked. But also, what about the Viewmaster movie?
Wow.
Look out.
You look through that.
Yeah.
See all sorts of...
That's right.
Just a picture.
Yeah, you do. Mate, now let's make that a movie. Let's make it a movie, baby.